Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ann Katzeff of Ask Design. Welcome. I'm going to talk with you today about migration and cloning tools for WordPress. Migration is the process of cloning a website and moving it to another location. Some of the more common reasons for migrating a site are a change of web host, a change in domain name, or creating a development site to test things. There are many migration and cloning tools for WordPress. Plugins are the easiest tools to use for this purpose. In this tutorial, I'll review 3 of my favorite plugins that replicate all of the files and the database from one site to another: Duplicator, Backup Buddy, and AllinOne WP Migration. The main feature that differentiates WordPress from regular HTML sites is its database. HTML sites are comprised only of files, so copying and moving them is relatively simple. But WordPress has a database, which makes it a bit more challenging to copy and move. The database is where all of the content resides: text, which are pages, posts, and comments; metadata, which are categories, tags, custom fields; user accounts, which are usernames and passwords; site options, plugin and theme settings, etc. It is a very important part of what makes WordPress a content management system. Some basic definitions here before we get started. Source will be referring to the original site that you are cloning, and destination will refer to the new site. There are 3 steps I recommend that you take before you dive into using any of the plugins. I'm going to call it the pre-cloning and migration steps. So step 1 is to create the destination site, and it can be a new primary domain, a subdomain, or a subdirectory. Depends on your web hosts whether or not you'll be able to create a subdomain, which is the website URL preceded by the destination URL name. So for example, the primary domain name, I'll refer to it as myurl.com. The subdomain will be the destination.myurl.com. And a subdirectory is when you have myurl.com/destination. Step 2, back up the source site. A lot of the plugins will do this for you automatically, and I'm on automatic pilot. When I go to do a migration, I automatically just back up the site. So you need to log into your WordPress site and naturally install and activate one of the backup plugins and use that plugin to back up the database and all the files. Then download the files and the database to your computer or a secure cloud area. Step 3, create the destination site database. Now this is where you might not feel comfortable. You might want to hire someone like me, or someone that you know more directly, but it's going into your web host and finding the cPanel where this database screen will appear. You click on My SQL Databases and follow the steps to create one. The steps basically include creating the database itself, and then the user, and then you add the user to that database. I often name the database so that I can remember what the heck it is in a year or 2 years. So I'll often include the name new, or the client's name, or the development, something and that's familiar to me, and then the date or the year that it was created. And you will be using this information in your migration phase of Duplicator and Backup Buddy. So make a note of what your user name and database names are as well as the password. Okay, we can see on my plugins page that I have all 3 plugins installed and activated. Here's All-in-One WP Migration, Backup Buddy, and Duplicator. Now with Duplicator, first of all, it's free. They do have premium plans, they call them Pro plans, that start at $59 a year with additional features that include scheduled backups, cloud storage, and an installer that creates the database and users, as well as multi-site. It's a great free backup plugin. So let's explore it. First, navigate to the duplicator area. I'm going to go to my sidebar and packages. You'll see a list of any local backups regular backups that you've already made. And you can download any of those by clicking on these links. And you need both of them. So there are 2 parts in Duplicator, just as they are in Backup Buddy. You have the archive, which are all of the files that were backed up, and the installer script. You need both of those for the entire migration process to work. So to create a fresh backup, you click on the Create New button. And a name for the package will automatically be generated. And you can, I added the toot part at the end. I'll call it toot 3. And then you click on the next button to continue. Duplicator scans the site and alerts you about any problems. You can attend to the problems, which are usually related to size, like right here. Or you can continue by selecting the box next to Yes, right down here. So we'll click on that. And then the Build button becomes active. You click on the Build button. Duplicator then creates a downloadable package of the site that will include the database, images, plugins, themes, and other files. At this point, you download the package. You get this screen when it's finished, and the links for the download will appear. You can click each one separately, but why do that when you can just do a one-click download? So check that out. Click on that. Place the downloaded files in an area that you prefer. I've placed them in a folder that I've named Toot. And then you go to open your preferred FTP program. Mine is FileZilla. And you upload both the installer PHP and the zip archive of the complete backup file to an empty folder in the intended destination on the web host server. So here I've got an empty Toot folder. It's my subdomain, and I'm going to click and drag these into that area. Once all the files have uploaded to the server, you go to your web browser and navigate to the URL where you place the 2 files, which is here, tootaskdesign.biz, and then add a /installer.php, and you come to the duplicator deployment screens, the first of 4, and everything passes. Yay! You want that to happen. You can check out the options if you want. They'll be fine. If all is well, click this box to activate the next button and click that. Your files will be extracted, and then the next screen comes up, which is step 2 of 4. Install the database. Under the setup area, which I'm not showing you purposely because I don't want to, for security purposes, I'm not showing you the database settings that I use, but you enter your database information into the fields under this area setup. And if everything is correct, the next button will come up and it will be active, so you can click on the next button to go to step 3. Step 3 is to update the data, so check it out. I'm going to actually change this here. You can always change it later, but I'll change it right there. The new URL is toot.askdesign.biz, and the original was under here. I'm sorry, it won't replace that, but this is where it resides in my server. Click on Next. Step 4 of 4 is to test the site. So you want to click on this link to log in to the administrative area of WordPress and navigate to a few pages and check things to make sure everything looks okay. In particular, I recommend that you review the navigation menu and its links, the footer, the home page, at least 1 or 2 interior pages, a blog if you have a blog, and any page that has a calendar or a form. And then if everything looks good, you can go to the Duplicator Tools area and manually delete the installation files by clicking the Remove Installation Files button. Now, this is a little confusing, and I'm not entirely sure why they have both areas, because it looks like the installer file ran the cleanup, but just as a precaution, I clicked on these 2 buttons anyway because it didn't hurt, so I just did it. And once you finish with that, you're all done. The next plugin is Backup Buddy. Now, this is a premium plugin. You have to pay for it. And the plans start at $48 a year. Many years ago, I paid a one-time fee of something like $297 for a lifetime license of Backup Buddy Gold. It gives me access to support, licensing, updates, and themes forever. They no longer offer this license, but I'm grandfathered in. Now, using Backup Buddy is very similar to Duplicator. You go to the Backups area, and you see this list of local backups. You can select them and either delete them or go to these 3 little dots and you can download an existing backup or create an entirely new one. I clicked on the Create Backup tab and got all these options. I usually do a database only, just in case, and then I do a complete backup. So I've already done this. I won't spend time showing you how, but you can click on those buttons and get the process started. Now, just like Duplicator, which has the installer PHP script, Backup Buddy has its own version of it. It's called Import Buddy, and you have to download that as well. So again, it's a 2-part thing. The files archive, which you must download as a zip archive to your computer, and the Import Buddy PHP. Back to our favorite FTP client. Again, I use FileZilla. I've copied over the Import Buddy PHP file as well as the recent archive that I backed up in Backup Buddy, and it's uploading to the server as we speak. In your web browser, navigate to the URL where you place the 2 files. In my case, it's toot.askdesign.biz /importbuddy.php, and you get this authentication screen because it wants my password, so I'll put that in and it will authenticate it. Next, select the backup to restore and click this button, Restore Backup. Your files will be unzipped and uploaded to the server. Now, what distinguishes Backup Buddy a little bit from Duplicator is that you can use the database wizard to create a new database. You do have to know your cPanel login and certain other things, but that makes it pretty sweet. If you don't know your cPanel password and you've already created a new database anyway, which we have done, you can put in the credentials in the other screen that it was very similar to Duplicator. So use your new database name, new database username and password for the screen underneath this. And again, for security purposes, I don't want to show it to you. The new database will be created, and you'll get this next screen, which is to check the URL settings. You want to make sure the old URL is replaced by the new URL, and if everything looks good, click on Next Step. So now it's time to verify the site and finish up. As you can see, I have this warning here that actually I've fixed, but I wanted to show it to you because I fixed it by emptying, or rather dropping, the tables from the existing database. That seemed to solve it. But follow their instructions. They sometimes give you hints about how to fix it, and generally those things work. You want to then click on the destination site's URL and log into your new website, into WordPress, and check things out. So let's do that. As you can see, I've logged in. I'm at the dashboard. While you're logged in, check out all the pages, and especially the navigation menu, like we did for the Duplicator verification. Just make sure everything looks good. Oftentimes the home page link needs to be adjusted. There are little minor tweaks usually. And if everything looks good, go back to the Backup Buddy screen and scroll to the bottom and click on the button to finish the cleanup, and you are done. All-in-One WP Migration is a plugin I use on the rare occasions when my Backup Buddy or Duplicator methods don't work. It is a gem of a plugin. You don't have to create the database because All-in-One does it for you. On sites larger than 512 megabyte, you will need to purchase the premium version for a one-time fee of $69, and that will be money well spent. So first off, on both the source and destination sites, install WordPress on the destination site, and install and activate the All-in-One WP Migration plugin on both sites. And then on the source site, which is where I am here, click on the All-in-One WP Migration link in the left sidebar and select the Export link. Click on the Export to drop-down menu and select File, which I've already done. The process of collecting the files and the database begins immediately. When the process is complete, you'll see this screen, and you want to click on the Download button. The exported file will be named with the suffix WPress. There we go. Okay, I'm in the destination site, and I've gone to the import area of All-in-One WP Migration. I'm going to simply do a drag and drop, but you can also import from and go to the drop-down menu. But I like to just drag and drop, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me see, I'm going to find the file, which is right here. Drag and drop. It's very fast, usually. And there you go, it's preparing, doing all these wonderful things. Then you hit the proceed button. It's warning you that it will overwrite everything that exists currently on the website. Click on proceed. And really, within a matter of minutes, your site has been imported successfully. So let's finish up. Click that button, and then you're done. Now you have 3 methods to clone and migrate your website. If you have any questions, you can email me at ann@askdesign.biz or leave a comment in the comments area, and I'd be happy to try to help you. So I hope this has been helpful to you, and have a great afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.